Hello and welcome everybody to the latest and last edition of Midweek Matters for 2023.
That's right. It's gone by in a flash, hasn't it, this year?
No, it hasn't gone by in a flash. It feels like forever. Charlie, the last episode, and three people here in attendance, or four.
Yep. Shout out to Alex.
Shout out to Alex.
We spoke about Alex on the last show, and he's here.
Yeah.
He's now here. Welcome, Alex. Alex, the intern.
Alex, the intern.
Intern Alex.
Intern Alex.
Did a great job today.
Done a great job so far. Person that lives the closest to the studio was late.
Yeah.
If you just like to...
Sometimes when you live close to things, it makes you more likely to be late because you don't think you have to rush things necessarily to get here. So, in my defense, you were late last week for Jam and Cheese by about 40 minutes. And Brandon Smith had an engagement after it. And he almost missed that. And it was a charity engagement. It was for the Ronald McDonald Foundation.
And he got there on time, didn't he? So
I don't know if he did or not.
did.
We haven't.
He actually messaged me. He was an hour early. He got his times mixed up.
Okay. Did he really?
Yeah, I'm being legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well.
So... Yes, you were late despite living the closest.
Well, I've actually moved house.
Oh, don't we know?
I've actually moved house, so I'm not as close as I used to be.
It's been the front page of the Telegraph. Peter Robertson's been reporting about it. The way you've been carrying on, it is the first person to ever move, and
when I all need
to know about it.
When I tell you moving house experience was extremely tough, I'm sure it might be nice living in a house like you live in. I live in an apartment. Apartments are hard to move out of. The new apartment I've moved into has no lift. So it was just stairs and stairs and stairs. Yeah. But I got there. And I also, and even on the moving day, I was attending meetings, phone calls. I was doing all sorts.
Yeah, we had a very important meeting that day, and you were flapping.
Well, no, I was just saying, can you and Tony handle it? You obviously can't. They couldn't handle a meeting without me. You know, I was like, oh, can you always... Nah, they're like, no. Without you, we are meaningless.
Yeah, well...
You know, we're like the Dragons without Ben Hunt. Nothing else.
Well, you made it here, so thanks for showing up. I'll leave with plenty of time to be here early, grab us the coffees and all that.
Yeah, that was nice of you. First time getting coffees all year. Good on you. Good way to end the year. Yeah. Have you got a Rockbuster for the last episode? Last chance to win a T-shirt. Oh, actually, in fact, let's because the new hats have been printed. They're on their way. They will be available for sale very soon. But why don't we say whoever gets this Rockbuster can have access to the first hat?
Why don't we?
Let's do it.
Sorry.
What, have you got something you want to say? You got something else you want to say, do you? All right, well, spit it out, mate. Spit it out. No.
Tell us what you've been...
What do you want from me?
Hang on.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, Charlie, you're running late, but other than the move, how's the week been?
It's been fantastic, mate. You got a twinkle in your eye that you've obviously know something about me.
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Well, the week's been good, mate. How's your week been?
It's been interesting. Oh, man.
Happened?
I've been holding on to this for a while, man. I feel like so many people are going to judge and laugh at me for doing this. And I wanted to get out there before other people find out and come after me and just tear shreds off me because I've got to own this.
Oh, yes, I love this. What have you got? How good's this?
So, right, I'll take you back about a year ago.
Yeah.
Brendan Cowell, an Australian actor.
Legend, Game of Thrones, all
Game of
different
Thrones,
sorts of things.
all that sort of stuff. So
Big Sharks fan.
Massive Sharks fan. He got in touch with his production company about because they're doing a show around a former player that's dealing with concussion, right? So he asked me, hear me out. So he goes, mate, can you speak to the to the team around like what it's like? So I was on this Zoom call, did about an hour with them, spoke about what it's like, some of the experiences after football.
Quick question: is this off Plum, his book?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
I've read that book. It's a great book.
It is. It's so they're doing a series, based around Plum, the book, the fictional character. So this production team get in touch and asked me to go and audition.
And have you got the part?
No,
have you got the part?
Wait, the best is, so I went, I was like, right, honestly, got the email. I was on another call.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Anyway, finished the call.
Yeah.
Back to the email. I'm like, this is a like, where's like Josh Hodgson? Like,
Who's stitching
where's the like, who's like, where's Ben Dobbin? Like, where's fucking, who's fucking with me here? So I'm like, mate. So this was about maybe about a month ago.
Yep.
So obviously I've kept this very, very close because I'm like, nah, this ain't. No one's finding out about this unless they have to. So I went and did like an audition for this part. It was awful. Like it's so hard. Like I was like fucking trying to read the thing.
Had you prepped for the script where you did?
They sent me this like,
but
little bit of a scene.
Did you go in like?
Course,
Did you do some rehearsals with like Taryn or anything
No,
like that?
you
did. You would have done. Yes, you
I was
did.
doing them to
Yes,
myself.
you did.
I was doing them to myself.
No.
I swear, I didn't get anyone to play any
Yes,
part.
you did.
I
You did.
swear, I
Okay,
swear, I
alright.
didn't.
Alright.
So, I've like gone in, awful, bombed. It was just like it was so out of my depth. It wasn't even funny.
Did they film it? The audition?
Yeah. No, it was so bad. But anyway, so they got back in touch, said, look, like, you know, someone else got that part, but there's a smaller part about this Hull FC, good flashback to Plum, where he's playing at Hull FC and you've got to play the coach that's like wanting to get back on. So I auditioned for that part and I got it.
Yes!
When
does it come out?
We're going to be recording next in January, February, I think.
Fuck, how good's that?
So, but I just want to send this message to all former teammates of mine.
Yeah.
I haven't lost the plot.
You have, mate.
I've not gone searching for this. I've not gone looking for this opportunity. I'm not going to be posting on social media about me wanting to be an actor. I'm not going to be like George Burgess is doing that really well.
You've stolen George's role. That's a role made for him.
Right.
You're a bad friend.
Yeah,
You're a bad friend.
See, like I just want everyone to know I've not lost the plot. I called Josh Hodgson yesterday to tell him.
Yeah.
He was in fucking hysterics at me. He's like, mate, and also the fact that he's from Hull, and I'm gonna maybe have to put on like a Hull accent.
Can we hear your Hull accent? Can we hear your Hull accent, though, please?
The worst thing is, so there's a story behind this that when I was a kid, I was coached by this, or he was an assistant from Hull, and something he said like stayed with me forever. Like, and it always made me think like a guy. He was we were getting ready to go on an Australian tour, England Academy. We were 18. Before we went, we had a meeting. We all had to write. It was like, right, everyone wants to. I need everybody in the team. The coach says to come up and write what they're going to bring to this tour. So, one thing you write on the board, like, you know, passion, like determination. And this fella from the assistant coach, like it's his turn. He's from Hull. Can you go up? He goes, can I put so? What? No, you're the assistant coach. But like the coach just goes, yeah. He puts like passion, then he puts, I want to bring skill. And I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? But that story stayed with me. And I've said that to Hodgie, and he's like, mate, if you can squeeze that line in there, yeah, can I put so? But yeah, the reason I wanted to get it off my chest is because then people like Ben Dobbin, anyone else can't like use it against me. So I need to own this.
Well, you're owning it. You are.
I am owning it.
I've got a question though. Could we potentially come on set and like follow you on set for the day and like watch you get makeup, maybe talk to you, like sort of a little behind the scenes, you know, like the show extras. We could maybe film like you and your interactions with everyone behind the scenes.
No, that also, is not happening.
Guess what? I've got Brendan Cowell's number, so I might just text him. And also, I might try to get the footage of your audition for Plum. If we can get that,
Charlie, if you get that, I'm kicking you out of the buy round. No, because that'd be you couldn't, not without my permission.
Fuck your permission.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about your permission.
They'd need my permission to release that.
Oh,
anyway,
no, they wouldn't. Mate.
Like, so anyway, yeah, the message is to all former teammates, all my friends, people who know me, I haven't lost the plot. I'm not going to turn into that retired person that goes
Mate,
on.
you already are, though.
Mate,
You already are. You're
look,
an
I know a
almond
lot of-
latte drinking.
Flat white.
Flat white drinking actor.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
there's some people there that go, oh, he's turned into a bit of the person
Do you reckon
he
you'll
used to
do
hate.
method acting? Do you reckon you'll stay in the Hull accent the whole time you're on set? You might, because you got to keep your Hull accent. You don't want to drop for a
Mate,
line.
honestly, it is.
Is it good? Is it good, buddy? Being an actor,
Not really.
but like it's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah. You should get some advice from Jason Stevens as well. We had him
Yeah.
on. He might be able to give you
Yeah.
some tips.
but like
So
honestly,
is Brendan directing it as well?
I think he is. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah, Tony's just come up with a genius idea, which is we have a preview screening of Jimmy's part, so we get the Byron listeners in a cinema and we watch it together.
yeah. Well,
And we just laugh
it's a
at you.
series. It's like a 6-part series.
Fantastic. Or binge watch it.
Yeah, binge. I think I'm only. Well, no, I don't think I know. It's just one scene, the flashback.
Yeah.
I'm the where Plum's on the table and I'm the coach.
Could steal the show though with that.
Mate, like honestly, I've been laughing at myself, like constantly laughing at myself.
I reckon it's going to be really, because you know how Alec Baldwin won the Oscar for like 2 lines, and you know what's that movie? Is that Always Be Closing? Do you know that movie?
No.
Like Glenn Ross, I think it's called. He won the Oscar. He had like 6 lines in the whole movie.
Really?
You could win like a Logie. But like, well, yeah, best new talent. That's a great call. But like, this.
Well, I still keep waiting for like when obviously I don't know if our Australian listeners would understand this, where like Noel Edmonds pops out, or like Mr. Blobby, like so
No idea
basically
what you're talking about now.
so basically Noel's house party used to get like, I guess some people of known interest to go in and do things that they're not actually supposed to do, and then getting to say things that they're uncomfortable or put them in uncomfortable situations, kind of like what the Fox team did with Matty Johns.
Cool,
you know?
Yeah.
But like then this Mr. Blobby character would come out, or Noel Edmonds would be dressed, and it's like, I got you, and then like, fuck. But yeah, I keep waiting for that.
We'll have to get Brendan in actually and talk to him, and maybe we could do an episode where he like reviews your performance, where you went wrong, right? Because you do say that you sort of miss that intensity of footy where like you review every play.
Yeah.
Congratulations, though, mate. This is it's a big thing. Have you called George to let him know about it yet? Get some tips?
No. I spoke to Josh Hodgson yesterday. Obviously to tell him.
You spoke to Josh Reynolds about
so he
it?
could rip the shit out of me. Josh Reynolds doesn't know about it yet. No one like Latimer or anyone knows, but obviously this is my platform. Hopefully they're listening, of avid listeners of the Buy Round, especially midweek matters. But yeah, I got the part this week. I hope they edit it. Maybe it might not even get used.
No, it will get used.
Yeah,
we'll get access to the interview. Not the interview. The audition. We'll get access to the audition.
Yeah. So I'm glad I got that off my chest, because I was kind of walking on eggshells in case someone else gets to.
I'm amazed you kept that in for that long. I feel like you would have brought up on.
Well, I didn't want to bring it. Didn't want to bring it up until like till you
get the part.
Yeah. So, I know that our Sunday show that we do with Triple M.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what Gordy thinks.
All being well, I'll be back there next year looking positive that the 4 of us will still be together. So I know it's coming up, first show. So
we'll get this some audio, hopefully, if it's been released by that point.
If anyone wants to come at me, but like, bring your fucking dinner. Because by the time I'm done with you, you're going to fucking need it. Because I'll come back at you. I'll be coming back at you. But I've even been like taking the piss with my missus. Have you seen The Trip?
Yeah.
They're constantly doing impressions of
Yeah.
like, come, Mr. Bond, you'd have just as much pleasure from killing as I do. Like just doing that all the time. Or when he does an impression of...
Was your missus good in her role in the audition in the reading?
We didn't do that.
Well?
We didn't do that. I'm trying to think of the actor where he goes,
Michael Caine?
Josh,
They do Michael Caine a lot.
Josh, with the folks around here say you ain't never coming back. I think it's Richard Gere. He's like, I guess I'm not.
Have you heard the Richard Gere rumour?
No.
There was a big thing of time when he put gerbils up his bum.
I have heard that rumour. It's funny you say that.
I think it's bollocks, but
Of course it is.
Yeah, but it's funny that apparently he requests gerbils. for on set and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think.
It was like the thing Marilyn Manson cut a rib out so they could give themselves a blowjob.
Yeah, I think that about Richard Gere, that came up on an episode of, do you listen to Joe Rogan, Protect Our Parks?
Oh, yeah, that's very funny when they get the comedians together. Yeah.
We just, mate, can send you down some rabbit holes that. Like, I've started looking at like R. Kelly's stuff.
Well, they talk about that the other day. Was him and Shane Gillis talking about? Because I think they listened to R. Kelly.
Trapped in the closet.
Yeah, and they
listened in the closet. I'm into the closet. Mate, mate, R. Kelly, obviously,
he's in jail now.
He's disgraced.
Yeah,
but some of his content, it's like, that's got to be a joke, right? It's got to be a joke.
Yeah.
And if they brought up the Richard Gere stuff with the gerbils and
Yeah.
shooting the shit and taking the piss about that, but
cool. Congratulations, man, on your acting career. It's great news for you. A man who's had some great news as well is Addin Fonua-Blake. He's signed with the Cronulla Sharks, and that is huge for Cronulla and massive, really.
it is. Well, Charlie, I think, reading the reports, it was the Dragons, the Dogs, the Tigers, and then randomly it was like the Sharks are in. And looking at their roster, and you go, they're not, it doesn't look like they're crying out for a front row forward, or a middle forward rather. And I know what we're going to talk about, how we'll, because he's such a top quality front row, like up in the top 2 or 3 front rowers in the game at the moment, what he'll bring for that team. But I guess on the surface of it, you'd look at it and go, oh, well, you've got Hamlin ULA, Rudolph, Finucane, McInnes, Royce Hunt, Oregon Kafusi. They're that core group of middle forwards. All of them are signed up as well until season at least 2025, minus Hamlin ULA, I believe. Rudolph.
Hamlin ULA is off contract at the end of next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we'll go into that in a little bit, but I guess on the surface of it, looking at it, you go, nah, Sharks, that nowhere near. He's going to go to one of those 3 clubs. It's going to be a 3-horse race between Dragons, Dogs, Tigers. And the fact he went to Cronulla, I think it took most people by surprise. This is, we'll talk about the impact at the Dragons in a moment, because it's been a tough 24 hours for that organisation, that club. But for me, immediately looked at it and go, okay, and I've been in this situation before at the Bulldogs, myself. So the writing's on the wall for a couple of those players. So if you look at the game and say there's 3 middle forwards on the field, totaling a combined game minutes, a total combined minutes of 3 middle forwards is 240 minutes. So Addin Fonua-Blake plays 60.
He can even play. He can play more. He can play 70 minutes easily.
Or say he likes to play. He needs to play 60 minutes to have an impact on the game, right?
Yeah.
So Toby Rudolph, he's a 60-minute player to have an impact on the game. Dale Finucane, 60 minutes to have an impact on the game. Cameron McInnes, 60 minutes to have an impact on the game. So those 4 60 minutes add up to 240, which is the total amount of minutes for middle forwards any given week. So you've got 4 players playing 240 if they're all going to be kept happy and content.
But then you've only got 3 spots.
Well, you've got 3 spots, but you've got benches.
Yeah.
So, all right, if those 4 players, say if 2 start, say if Fonua-Blake starts, Rudolph starts, and Finucane starts, you've got McInnes on the bench. Yeah. Well, we've not even mentioned Hamlin ULA, Royce Hunt, or Oregon Kafusi. So, yeah, 3 spots for 240 minutes, but 4 people will consume all those if they get the game time that they need.
Yep.
So, what it says is the Sharks have got some moving to do. So, with at least one of those players, so we've not, like I say, you've not, like how, obviously Addin Fonua-Blake, he's the star of the show. Like who are the Sharks going to put around to go, well, he's going to complement him. Like, do we need Addin Fonua-Blake? And like I've said this a while ago, I don't know if you can play Dale and Cam in the same team and be effective. Like it doesn't seem like, and I don't even think we didn't mention Jack Williams as well, who can come around the middle.
He's sort of been in and out of the team as well.
Yeah,
Jesse Colquhoun.
Colquhoun, sorry, I really like his trajectory and where he's going.
I think he's a player who is off contract at the end of 2024 as well. So that's another guy who he might end up leaving Cronulla just due to lack of opportunity there.
But really, what it looks is if the Sharks, I think Rudolph only just recently re-signed. I think they're going to have some conversations with some players in their middle forwards and be telling them like, hey, look, opportunities post season 2024 are going to be limited. So, I think it's a wait and see, and we'll see what happens. But no doubt that all those players can't be kept happy.
No.
And all those players can't fit in the team.
And also, it's not a case of them not needing Fonua-Blake, though. Because I think he's a kind of front row forward that they have been crying out for. A guy that just dominates in the middle of the park, can play big minutes. Like guys like Royce Hunt, Hamlin-Uele, they seem to only get through like 30 minutes at max, 35 minutes sometimes. Like they're not big minute players. Yeah. Finucane, all due respect, I reckon him and McInnes, you could definitely get rid of one of them, and so many clubs would take either of them.
Yeah.
Even a team like your team, the Bulldogs, he could go and finish his career at the Dogs instead of finishing his career at Cronulla. And they'd probably welcome back with open arms. They need some middle forwards. They need more depth in those positions. I think McInnes is a player that is still really young, relatively speaking.
But if any team needs a dummy half, they go and get him.
Yeah.
So that for me is the interesting thing. I guess the Sharks, looking at their past 2 seasons under Fitzgibbon, he's obviously seen that, and that could be that little bit of X factor that they need. And I know Fonua-Blake probably not the X factor style of player, but what his late footwork at the line, quick play the balls, advancing the cause.
He's that alpha front rower. They haven't had an alpha front rower for a couple of years.
It's a bit of a fit. It's that fear of him, but then also you think about Nico Hines playing off the back of his quick play the balls. It's a really, really top draw signing for the Sharks. Obviously, they faced some decent competition, but it's there's going to be some movers within those forward packs, which I guess those are the clubs that missed out on Fonua-Blake would be looking and going, well, maybe we can get now a Finucane or a McInnes.
I know it's hard because they're your mates and stuff, but who would you move on if you are Cronulla?
I genuinely don't know. They are so good at what they do and bring to an organisation. Like, so good. I don't see any sign of them slowing down either. They almost need to be pulled back from themselves.
Yeah. Because even when you interviewed Fitzgibbon on the buy round, I think it was this time last year, he spoke about the standards that Finucane and McInnes been training and the intensity they bring as well. When it just lifts everyone up to another level. So that's why I think if your clubs now, like you say, like go and try and get one of those players.
100%.
Yeah. Because even if it's not for this year, for 2024, go and get them for 2025.
Yeah.
Get that deal done.
Absolutely. Well, one of those clubs that has been impacted, we listened to Coach Shane Flanagan talk. He was very bullish around, bringing in Fonua-Blake, the impact that would have on Ben Hunt, talking about how much of a quality front rower he is. They were expecting an answer by Christmas. Well, they've got their answer, not the answer they were looking for. Obviously, that now is coupled in with the news of the NRL.
Deregistering Junior Amone, which is devastating considering they've already let Jaden Sullivan go this year to the 2024 to the Tigers. They've brought in Carl Flanagan, who I think they saw as more of a backup dummy half option and a little bit of depth in the halves. But yeah, they've lost their 2 future halves. They're both gone from their team. Junior Amone's a massive loss. He's a player who I think is a little bit underrated. He's actually, for a smaller guy, he's really strong in defence as well, and he's a tough guy to tackle and put down. Big loss. Look,
obviously, he was found guilty in court. He would have been relieved at not having to go down. His father was, sentenced, and probably looking at it as like, okay, well, I'll knuckle down and use football as a way to bet myself and learn from that. Obviously, the NRL have taken that away from him. For how long, it's unknown. I think it's one of those where a club just has to apply and see what happens. But you've got to assume it's going to be a minimum of 2 years. Because if it was a year, they just say he stood down for a year, for a season.
Yeah.
Because I think he's on a pretty long-term deal.
No,
so.
I think, well, I'm reading on at the moment on zero tackle and he's off contract at the end of 2024.
Yeah.
I thought he'd resign, but I'm just reading off this zero tackle website. I could be totally wrong on that.
Yeah, well, okay, well, let's just. It's going to be at least the season before he's even considered to come back. So the Dragons really had no. We left no choice than to let him go, or no, not in the foreseeable future will he be coming back.
I wonder if they wish that they maybe waited. They got this news a bit earlier from the NRL because Din's now, which we're going to talk about, said Din's now re-signed the Cowboys for 4 years. You and Brandon Smith spoke about Jerome Luai's deal with the Tigers. Maybe it would have been the push that made them just pour a little bit extra money in that position.
But surely they'd be naive not to think that was going to happen.
I didn't think he was going to get deregistered. I thought a lot of moments like this happen, and normally it might be a 4-game suspension or a $25,000 fine. This is a really strong message from the NRL.
Yeah, it is. It is, but I guess, I feel for the Dragons fans at this moment. I feel for Flanagan. I guess you do probably need to question some of the decision makers that allowed Jaden Sullivan to go, where you knew Junior was at this point. And okay, you want to look after Jaden and say, if there's no avenue for first team football here, then yes, we'll let you go. But you're not in the game of being nice to people and doing people favours. You're in the game of winning for your organisation and for your football club and your team, your members and your fans, where you think, would it have been better served for them to say, I'm just going to tell you the truth, would they be better lying to Jaden, saying, look, mate, no, we want you to play. We want you to play. And then if Amon was, found to be innocent,
then you let the deal go.
And then you go, mate, you know what, actually, we'll send you off to the Tigers.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work like that, but you got to put your own club's interest first. And
also, Jaden might, now the path for Jaden playing first grade at the Tigers is a lot more difficult as well. With Luai going there, with the young kid Latu Fainu coming through.
Yeah.
They've got Aiden Caesar there. Jaden Sullivan, he might play this year, might start this year, but then he's going to have Jerome Luai coming there in 2025.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess that's an issue for further down the track. But what you do if you're Jaden Sullivan, you go, well, I'm going to play that well, that I'm going to be the guy that partners Jerome Luai. That's my role within the team, is to play that well this year. Benji doesn't have an option. He's got to pick me. And yes, we've got some young, exciting players, but I'm going to play that well that I don't give a shit who you are. You're picking me to partner Jerome. So, but back to the Dragons, you just wonder if they would like that decision again or manage it differently. Let's not forget, Jaden Sullivan's a local junior there as well.
Yeah. I think you have to say it's a massive mistake by the Dragons. Now that the situation's played out like this, they should have considered that. It's a huge, huge mistake.
Where do they go with their halves? Like you say, that Tommy Dearden re-signed. Even now, not just that was expected. These were signings 2020 for 2025. Yeah, but no, for 2024 now
they're screwed.
Baird and Hunt,
Flanagan and Hunt. I reckon
Flanagan and Hunt. See, I reckon they'll go with Jack Baird, bigger body.
It's not an ideal situation.
No. I guess
I think the Dragons are probably firming as wooden spoon favourites the way things are going.
Well, on the surface of it, yes. I guess this is now going to be a real test of Shane Flanagan's coaching ability, his ability to influence a group of players and a group of men, his ability to put systems in place that almost become idiot-proof and fatigue-proof. So simple systems around how you play the game and grind out results. And, small plays that, involve a lot around Ben Hunt, a lot around Zach Lomax, free up Tyrell Sloan. But really, for me, it's Shane Flanagan now. He has to instill an attitude in his players of they can't wait for us to fail. They are giving us no chance. What are you going to do about that? And not hope, but plan for getting a response out of that playing group off that narrative, because we know how powerful that narrative can be when everybody, and then also use the fact that not much will be expected of them and teams may underestimate them, but play with a style and play in a fashion that, you know, reflects who you are, but make yourselves difficult to beat, and have a game plan to maybe not be that entertaining, just to get wins.
And Flanagan's capable of getting this
Yeah.
team up and about. He's an incredible first grade coach. So
Yeah.
everyone who I come across who's been coached by him just speaks so highly of him. So hopefully, you know, it all works out for the Dragons. The thing about Junior Murray, it's a lesson for young footballers: just avoid trouble as much as you can.
But it's just one of the, look, I know Junior had a fair bit to do with him. I always liked him. I think he's just got caught in the moment. And that's not excusing what he's done. But sometimes young men that have violent tendencies, and I was exactly the same, you get caught up in moments and you look back and you go, what the fuck, you know, was I doing? And some of them happen on the field, some of them happen off the field. But these, I guess, you know, there's, you pay a price for it.
Yeah.
You really do. And, you know, he's paying a price for it. His teammates are paying a price for it. You know, the game of rugby league is paying a price for it. He's amazing young talent that, you know, I don't think I think we'll see his face again, but we're looking way into the future. I think, yeah, the Dragons now, they probably turn their attention to a couple of other players that are off contract, one of those being the Cowboys, not Tommy Dearden, a couple of their young back rowers that they're really keen on bringing to the club. It's a bit of a head scratcher for Flanagan, and you know, I speak about, you know, the Sharks can't keep all those middle forwards. Do they go back into Cam McGuinness, try and bring him back, Dale Finucane, maybe even a guy like Braden Hamlin-Welle, who not too dissimilar to Fonua-Blake, that bigger body, someone that can really bend the line back. But you know, you think about the situation with Ben Hunt, and Flanagan said about how this signing could encourage Ben that this is the place to finish his career off and try and win a premiership. Well, unless they can tap into that narrative, they're no chance.
You speak about the Cowboys, and there is an option there potentially for 2024. There was some rumours about Chad Townsend maybe getting released early from his Cowboys contract. They've just signed Dearden long-term now, 4-year deal. Do they maybe see him as a halfback and the chance to mould him into a halfback?
Mate, he's only 20. He's like 22.
Yeah, he's so young. 4-year deal. They've got him locked away. Townsend's on big money as well.
Mate, as if Dearden's 22.
Yeah, it's insane what he's done already. Because he's been around for ages. He started at the Broncos. This is gone to the Cowboys.
And you know what? You quickly fall into that judgmental mode of like, well, they've got to be up there like each and every week. But the guy's 22. It's huge from the Cowboys to secure his services.
Yeah.
Huge.
Great spine they've got there.
Yeah.
Like Reece Robson, Drinkwater, Townsend if he's playing.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance now. I think this does open the door for Townsend to return, you know, to that area. He played for the Cronulla Sharks, not far from where the Dragons are based. You know, it's probably an opportunity that he would look at, especially if he can get a couple extra years as well.
And he obviously knows Flanagan really well. So, I mean, yeah. But I guess as well, you know, a week's a long time in rugby league. Players get disgruntled. And another blow for the Dragons is I believe that Jack Wellesby has re-signed with St. Helens to 2027. That was a player that they showed a lot of interest in as well. Be interesting to hear Flanagan's thoughts on being so open about a number of the players that he's an admirer of and that the Dragons are making a play for. So I think it's Fonua-Blake, Wellesby, Joey Manu, a couple of others that...
Manu won't leave the Roosters though, will he? I can't see that.
No,
I just can't see that happening.
No. So, but yeah, he's got a huge job on his hand.
Just on the...
I think you know what though? I think he would have known that already. He's not stupid. He knows he has a big job, and
I think he's been pretty honest about that as well.
Yeah.
Before all this news happened, before we heard about Junior Murray, they were already the favourites for the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a tough task. Just before we move on, because there's some cricket news we want to talk about, but just before we move on to cricket, some really sad news. Corey Harawira has had to medically retire from the game due to that. Obviously, that seizure last year on the field.
Yeah.
So sad news for him. Sad news for the Canberra Raiders. He's a great back rower, great player for so long. So shame to lose him.
Yeah, it is obviously a medical retirement. It's would be a strange exit from the game. So he'll have the support of the people. He's going to need the support of the people around him, because usually a retirement of a player of his capabilities is someone that's played for New Zealand would plan out, okay, you know, maybe stay at the Raiders, maybe go over to the Super League, and there's your exit plan from the game. But it happens in bizarre circumstances, totally and utterly out of your control. But I think the shining light is that I don't know how bad all this was, but he survives, and it's clearly been determined by the medical experts that it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk, and whether or not it's an exposure to these type of things, in terms of like news in sport, where it happened recently with a game on the weekend in the Premier League, Luton Town, where one of the players there was I think he went into cardiac arrest. I can't recall exactly, but similar circumstance where player collapses, game gets called off. But I'm not going to say your health and safety is the long-term priority, because I've seen players come back and continue on when under those not too dissimilar circumstances. But for Corey, he's obviously made a decision that it's just not worth the risk.
Yep. Well, all the best, Corey. Because like you said, I think, is it right that statistically speaking, it's one of the hardest retirements to go through when it's an injury-related one?
It is.
Just you feel like you got more to give in your body and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to take a quick break from this podcast to talk to you about AG1. Now, this is a product I've been taking for over a year now, and I absolutely love it. It gives me all of my daily nutritional needs in one easy drink. All you have to do is put in 1 scoop of AG1 into a nice cold glass of water, and you are set for the rest of the day. The cupboard has been cleaned out of tablets and powders because all my needs are met by AG1. The power of routine cannot be underestimated, and we all know how small habits lead to big wins. Some of those big wins for me have included better gut health. My clarity, especially in the afternoon, has improved so much. Gone has the mid-afternoon slump. AG1 is a foundational nutritional supplement. Now, as humans, we all share that same basic foundational needs. That's where AG1 take care of everything. This supports your body's needs like nutrient replenishment, gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. AG1 is the supplement I trust to provide the support my body needs daily. And that's why they've been a partner and I've been a user for so long. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1, a buy-round exclusive. If you try AG1, you get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/buy-round. That's drinkag1.com/buy-round for our exclusive Australia-wide offer. Check it out.
Moving on into cricket, Jimmy. You actually want to speak about this. The IPL auctions happen.
Yeah.
We've seen some massive money being thrown around. Mitchell Starc is now broken the record for the most amount of money ever earned in the IPL auction. He's going to earn over $4.4 million. It works out as something like $15,000 a delivery. And the original record Pat Cummins got this same auction, he got $3.6 million. And then Mitchell Starc said, hang on a minute, I'm going to trump that. And then there was a bloke called Spencer Johnson. Honestly, I'd never heard of him. Never heard of him. And I work on producing cricket for Triple M. Never heard of Spencer Johnson. He's got $1.7 million for
little, what, 10 weeks?
I think so, yeah. 10 week, yeah.
So, first thing I say, good on them.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see the sort of public perception of this. You would hear less frequently than what you would with rugby league players. It's good on them. Because it's in a foreign competition. But if that's an NRL player, too much money. But I think it's funny how our psyche gets ingrained, like they're taken from our comp or with rugby league, oh, no, that's way too much. Or they're overpaid. It's too much money. It's ludicrous. Like, that sort of money for 10 weeks, I think I applaud them for going to get that. And some people might think it's too much, but I just think it's funny how the psyche of the fan is, if it's in our local comp, nah. If it's in a foreign comp, I'll get on them. Even like the attitude of, the baseballer recently, the Japanese baseballer.
Got like $1 billion.
Yeah, he's deferred, which is another really interesting. He's put some of his money for post.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's deferred a significant amount of that 700 million.
Yeah.
To after his career.
I love that. You know what Allen Iverson did? So Allen Iverson, very famous NBA player, absolute superstar, but he had a lot of issues off the field. He got this big deal with Reebok, and his management, or he said, "Can you give that to me in 15 years?" And it was like worth $40 million. So from that point to then, he'd actually gone broke. So he was waiting for that Reebok deal to come out of like severe financial, cripple, because he gave all his money away. He'd go to the strip club. He'd buy all his mates like jewelry. He just loved the drink, and so that deferring his money saved him. So maybe this baseball guy, I don't know if he can spend $1 billion. I think.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the 30 for 30 broke? Great show about how American athletes go broke after they finish playing.
Yeah.
But that's all right with the Reebok deal because that's outside the salary cap.
Yeah.
But this is the salary cap money.
Yeah,
like from his club.
But I guess why can't anyone do that? Because they're still like
because it's fucking salary. It wouldn't be allowed here.
No, but wouldn't it be still in the salary cap? Like on the salary cap, you've got this much money, but he's just receiving it later.
This is like when he finishes playing.
Yeah, I know, but it's still on. He's still on the salary cap.
I don't think it is.
That's a very grey area.
Yeah, well, obviously we've not done like massive amounts of homework on this.
Yeah, it's your story, mate. I'm not involved in this lack of research.
Yeah, it's interesting. But I guess my thing is, even like Jerome Luai getting $6 million over 5 years, like some people would be blown up and say, "Oh, it's too much. It's like compared.
I think
to
it's
other
awesome.
sports.
Look at outside of sports. Look at business. Like Alan Joyce when he was CEO of Qantas getting like a $30 million bonus.
But we're not getting into politics now, Charlie.
That's not politics. It's just money.
Anyway, good on those cricketers for getting it, and good to see athletes getting rewarded.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's finish the show with our favourite segment, all thanks to Tui's last one of 2024. Time now for Fans' Feelings.
Fan Feelings.
Nothing more than
How do you feel?
Fan Feelings, Jimmy, popped it out on Instagram and everyone has submitted their questions, all thanks to Tui's. How do you feel?
Feel like a Tui's
or two?
Going to be having a couple over the festive period.
We have. I know we haven't organised a Christmas party for the buy round. Had an idea for a Christmas party for the buy round, just a big party in general. Every guest that comes on in the year gets an invite to a party. We throw this massive party at the end of the year. Listeners come. NRL dignitaries come, other podcasters come. We throw like this massive NRL podcast party, but you got to come on as a guest to come along, and then it makes guests want to come on even more to go to this crazy party. It's the night of nights.
What's that movie where they get the secret pass
to go to the party where they wear the masks and stuff?
No, the Christmas movie with like Seth Rogen and stuff.
Not Superbad.
No. Is it Last Christmas? And it's like their last, and they get this.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. I can visualise it. Yeah, and that sort of dweeby looking guys in it as well.
It's going nuts. Yeah, it sounds like.
Yes, that's it.
What was it called? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we could make it a bit like that, like exclusive, no one knows where it is.
Exactly. And it's kind of like, and then at the end of the interview,
like
say, grab under your chair, and then they pull off the pass, and you're like, yes.
I know where I'm going December 23rd.
And we book out like the whole of the Ivy. We do some sort of corporate arrangement with Justin Hems, though, so it's a contra deal.
We need like a secret
place.
Location.
This is not big enough, though. This is like a small 4-person gathering we could have here.
Maybe that's what we need for our Christmas party. Just keep it realistic.
All right, first question, Jimmy, from Jacob Wiscombe. Any chance we'll get a book one day, Jam? Would love to read your story.
No?
I got
asked about doing a book, but not really.
I guess you're telling your story on the bar round.
Yeah,
Tune in every week.
Tune in every week. Maybe we'll have me on as a guest one day.
Yeah, we have spoken about that. Yeah.
Who'd interview me?
Maybe Emma Lawrence.
I
We'll
just
discuss.
thought you were going to put your hand up.
Well,
I was glad you went with
I could
someone
do
else.
it. You know, Ben Dobbin would put his hand on the shoulder.
Oh, God, we couldn't have him
What
on.
if we got maybe the Hello Sport boys? They could do a good job of interviewing. Oh, they've already interviewed you, haven't they?
Yeah.
though? So yeah, if you want to hear James Graham get interviewed, go to the Hello Sport podcast.
There is other things for the book or the ultimate buy around life story.
All right, next question. Anthony Ackery. Will Everton get relegated this season?
No.
No.
We're on a massive win streak. We're like 8 points clear of relegation.
Your danger of losing any more points?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to get relegated. No way.
I'm a Reading fan, and we keep getting points deducted off us because we can't pay the wage bill. So we're going down. We've got some dodgy owner who just is like sort of like can't get his money into the country for whatever reason. All right, final question then of 2023. NJ Walker. I love this question. Would you rather never get sick again or never get a hangover again?
Ooh. Probably never get sick again.
Yeah, I think it's an easy one. Never get sick again.
Yeah, never get sick
Because
again.
hangovers are good. They're actually good. They remind you that you probably shouldn't have done what you did last night. Because if you never got a hangover, you could like bender till 4 a.m, wake up and
I never get that bad a hangover and just tough it out.
You're a
Like,
legend.
you know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah,
like
no, I
I'm
know.
not one of these people that are like sick the next day.
Yeah. Do you know? You never have gotten that level where you're sick the
Where
next
I'm
day.
throwing up the next day, never.
Oh mate, I always throw up the next day.
Do ya?
But it's good. Like I
Yeah.
get my throw up out and then I'm sweet. So I throw up
I
in the morning.
Never
get the
ever throw up
toxins
the
out.
next day, ever. Well, my best mate actually, like, he gets horrendous hangovers, and he barely drinks anymore because he's
Yeah.
like, but he is a fanny.
Is he fit? Like healthy?
Yeah,
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I've got a theory that like really fit people can handle hangovers better.
Oh no, but he can't.
Like the more muscly you are,
Yeah.
the more likely you are to sort of bounce back from a hangover.
Yeah, you know what? Randomly, and I have like quite a lot of weird thoughts. I was thinking, how much better would it be if you had the hangover first before the night out?
But it's like day 2. You know, if you go for
Yeah,
and
but
then it
like,
takes a bit more time to get up and about, and then when you finally get going, you're like, hey.
But imagine that, like, you get punished and then the reward is the night out.
Yeah.
Like, it's the wrong way round.
Yeah.
Like, you should have to go through the shit first and then you get the reward.
But then don't you reckon that buzz would go out of it? It's like, you know, when you've had like a great day and the sun's shining outside and you get to the pub and you sort of crack that twoies, you know, you just go, that sound, the first
Yeah.
one's icy cold, hits your lips, you had a great day. The great day is now continuing. Now you got a lot of energy. Rather than when you're going a bit flat.
No, but then you come out of it. Like,
You come out of it, but it can take a few.
Yeah.
It can take a few to sort of get things going.
Yeah, so you're just like, oh, fuck. I'm struggling. And then, I'm feeling better now. And then, like, you go through this. Like, you think about, you go for a run or you go do a fitness class, whatever. And then you feel better after, but it's hard at the time. You get the reward post-exercise. Wouldn't it be great if you're hungover first and then you got pissed?
So you're underestimating day beers there, though. You know when you like start having a beer early in the day, and it's like excitement, like everyone's up and about. Like, but if you're all that first beer is sometimes the best one. When that group comes together for the first time,
I'm not arguing with it.
No, but
it'd
no,
be
but
good
then
if you had to go through the hangover.
Yes, but what I'm saying
like
is that
you
first
went
group
back.
would arrive and they'd all be hungover, and it would be a little bit flat. There might be some extra giggles because you know sometimes you get the giggles when you're hungover.
Yes,
you know,
I do.
But
Well, that's a great question. But no, I mean, getting sick, you just sort of crack on.
No, but I'd rather not get sick. Like hangovers are hangovers. Just
Yeah,
get
yeah,
on with
sorry,
it.
yeah.
Sick is like sometimes sick. Like you also never get like, not to get too deep, you never get cancer. Like rules you out getting cancer because that's sick. So like I'll cop hangovers to never get cancer.
Good question. And yeah, let's wrap it up for the year.
Sounds
Midweek
good.
matters.
Oh, we've got to do that. We tease Rockbusters, but you never did your Rockbuster clue.
Oh yeah, okay.
This
all
is
right.
for the hat as well. This is
for the hat.
first
So
ever buy hat.
if anyone's still listening, get ready. So Rockbuster, this great dog is owned by a funny man.
This great dog is owned by a funny man. Interesting. Comedian.
Anyway, I'll leave it at that. This great dog is owned by a funny man.
Buy around hat. First one of its kind. Not even for sale yet.
Not even for sale. You can win it if you get that one right, if you've still been listening. But thanks for listening to the Buy Round Midweek Matters show. It's been a great year. Charlie and I will be back in some capacity in mid-Jan 2024. We've got some interesting
Well, no,
shit.
even we're back. We've got some off-season shows that we ran through as well through the year. Yeah. And interview obviously coming Sunday as well.
Yeah, we've got an interview show with Justin Holbrook, which is a great chat.
Great chat.
We've got some midweek shows that we're going to put out, and then midweek matters will be back January. But
maybe not Jan, maybe more close to the season because we've got that World Cup show as well. Anyway, we'll be floating around. There's 3 shows a week.
We'll have
from
this
Jan
conversation
15.
off the air. But yeah, have a great Christmas, everybody. And thanks for listening. Thanks for the year. And we'll catch you all very soon.